In this video, we're going to talk about the basics of Google Sheets. Now, this is part of the G Suite. You're going to find it within Drive when you go to create a new document, and you're going to choose Sheets. Now, Google Sheets is like Microsoft Excel's spreadsheet program. A lot of the same features. It is rather limited. It doesn't have all the advanced features that Microsoft Excel has, but I found that most people don't need those advanced features. If you're using this as a grade book, it's a great platform to use and to build upon. There are a variety of things to work with here. If you've never used a spreadsheet program, don't really stress about it too much. They're not that difficult. Each column here is labeled, and of course each row is labeled, and then you have your individual cells. So this is cell A3. Up here you have your menu items, and if you do want to create a spreadsheet within Sheets and save it and give it out to other teachers, make sure you download it as a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet so everybody can open it and have access to it. Within your tools options here, you have some basic things like a script editor. You can create a form, which ties back into Google Forms. You also have add-ons, which I think is what's most valuable for teachers. When you go into the add-ons tab, you can actually get add-ons. And one of my favorite add-ons for Google Sheets is a add-on called Flubaroo. But there you can see right here, you have other add-ons that you can add. And again, these are free. There's a Flubaroo I was talking about. You should definitely check that out. But you can add these add-ons, and it basically just increases the functionality of Google Sheets. All right, so those where you go in, you can get your add-ons. Over here is where you can go in and you can insert charts. So once you have your data set in there, you can go in and you can insert and add charts. And then what I want you to pay attention to the most, and I think this is the most valuable aspect of Google Sheets, is down here in the bottom part, you have the option for Explore. And when you click on that, this will actually go through and analyze your data in here, and it will recommend the best type of chart for that data. All right, so let's go ahead and look at some data that I've brought in. So this is just temperature data here in Cookeville from 2015 all the way down to 1956. And what I did is I pulled the high and low temperatures from January and February. Now I've got my data set in here. As you can see here, I've got my columns and my rows set up. And of course I got my temperatures. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight my data. So I'm just going to highlight all of that. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, and then I'm going to go up here to my charts. So when you click on that, it's going to give you recommendations of how you can display your chart. What's the best representation for the data that you have selected. So it really takes the guesswork out of it for you. You also have different chart types. So I can actually set that up so it gives me a little bit more options when I'm working with it. And then finally I can customize my chart as I'm going through. Now I've talked about Explore, so let's take a look at it. So I'm going to go and close that out. And when I go click on Explore, you can see right here, it's going to actually look at my data and it's going to give me some recommendations. I can even ask questions from my data set. So for example, it gives me some question prompts here to look at the average lowest temperature when the month is February. So if I click on that, it's going to actually search and find the average lowest temperature for that month. Okay, so I can go in and I can see the formula, and it shows you how to go in and write that formula out. So as you can see here, this is the average lowest temperature. I can also do other things as well. I can go in and I can look at some other answers as well within my data. I can look at some different charts that it's generated, as well as a histogram, and so I can view the ranges, highest temperature, lowest temperature, etc. So again, the Explore option is fantastic for educators because it gives you the ability to quickly analyze data, and you can make your decisions based off of the data that you have.